I'm Wimsaur of Wimsaur.com, and these are your tarot cards for the week of Sunday, July 20th through Saturday, July 26th of 2014. We start this week off with our spirit card of the Five of Cups, also called disappointment. A lot of times, when we are disappointed in things, it is simply because we're putting too much stock in something that really shouldn't matter. For instance, if you get mad at somebody, stop to think. Why are you getting mad at this person? Sometimes it's legitimate, but other times we get mad because it reminds us of something from our past. If that is the case, that's not legitimate anger at another human being, even though it is legitimate anger for something from our past. You'll find this week that some of these things that we're getting mad at are based on past events, and it's time to start dealing with them. The fire point, Three of Swords. The fire point of our spread represents our will. And it kind of starts to give us instructions as to how to deal with what we just heard about in the spirit, i.e. the Five of Cups. The Three of Swords in our fire point, in our will, is reminding us, it is telling us that we cannot solve our emotional problems with our intellect. That is, we're not going to be able to decode our emotions in terms of intellectual variables or data. We will, however, be able to maybe find a causal relationship. This is important to distinguish. We can use our intellect to examine where our emotions came from, but not necessarily why we're having the emotions. More on this in a moment. Our next card in our water point, which is the point responsible for our emotions and creativity, is the Knight of Swords. Now, more on what I was just saying about the intellect and how we can actually look at our emotions. We can't use our intellect to experience our emotions. They're just two different parts of our mind. They're not that related. We can, however, apply our intellect into determining where the emotions came from in a causal relationship. For instance, if we get mad at somebody, or just better yet, don't like somebody for a particular reason, if we examine why we don't like these people, a lot of the times it's because they remind us about something from ourselves that we don't like. And this is where we can apply our intellect. We can use it to recognize why or why not we may like or dislike something. So whatever issue that comes up this week, really look at it. Try to regress in a way. Find out the point in your life that is really bothering you and really trying to come out. If you can't do this just by thinking about it, grab some paper and a pen and start writing. Keep writing until it comes out. The next card is our air point, which represents our intellect and also our communications. And we have here the Prince of Cups. Actually, let's keep this up for a minute. The Prince of Cups, as you see, is holding a big cup, more like a bowl, with a snake spiraling out. That snake represents the Kundalini, the life force, our life essence, our vital force that exists within all of us. And he's looking into this bowl to examine this life force. This is telling you need to do some divination if necessary. It's also a different type of communication. The tarot cards, for instance, are an actual language used to understand ourselves. If you know how to read tarot cards, this is your week to start actually going into your cards and reading for yourself. If you can't read for yourself, find someone you can trust to read for you. Find out where these things are coming from. It really doesn't matter what other people are doing. In terms of, a lot of times people who come to me for readings, they ask, how does this person feel about me? What is this person doing? Who cares? That does not actually help you. The better question is, why do I feel this way? What can I do to change my conditions? Knowing the future is absolutely worthless if you don't have a plan to get to that future. Big deal if you know what's going to happen tomorrow. What are you going to do with that information? If you know you have an appointment tomorrow, so you know you have an appointment tomorrow. If you decide to stay home and miss the appointment, you knew about the appointment. But if you know you have an appointment, now you can maybe wake up earlier, lay out the right type of clothes to go to a right type of meeting. See my point? Learn about yourself by asking the right questions. What can you do to achieve your goals? What can you do to feel better about something or to deal with something? This brings us to the last card here. This is the Earth Point, which represents your physical body, but also your world right now. We have the Empress. The Empress is part of the female divine. It's a female goddess. It's the part of ourselves that actually manifests something, or at least is pregnant with potential for something. This is the time when something is coming out. Something, it could even affect like your health. Maybe not a lot. I mean, maybe it's a stomach ache or something. No matter, it really depends on where you put things in your body, where your stresses come from. A lot of times, emotional stress can affect the body. Some people might put it in their lower back, others their stomach. Stomach is one of the more common ones, but the point is, a lot of times you may have like a minor physical ailment. It's because there's something trying to come up. And I don't mean your lunch. This is the week where things will be coming up. In fact, this is actually the time of year where there's a lot more creative energy for other magical reasons, which you can feel free to look up for yourself, representing when Leo comes about, I guess tomorrow. The point is, this is the best time of year to really go into yourself because there's a lot more creative energy at your disposal. So I can't stress this enough. If you can read for yourself, do a good reading on yourself. Understand where these things are coming from. If not, find someone you can trust to read for you. If that be me, come on over to Wimsaur.com and schedule an appointment. The prices are competitive. If that be somebody else, cool. If you've liked this reading, feel free to like me on my Facebook page. My name is Wimsaur of Wimsaur.com, and have a good week.